Hello, my mermaids and barnacle boys. My name is SpongeBob, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be looking at yet another SpongeBob book, which is the final book that I have in my entire SpongeBob book collection. Yay! So what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that I'm done making more videos with, like reading books. So if you think that was going to be the case, then you were completely false. Maybe in the future, if there's a book that I see on like eBay or something, if I plan on getting it, I'll do a video about it. But this is the last book that I have in my entire collection, which is a scene manga SpongeBob SquarePants Krusty Krab Adventures from Tokyo Pop. Now I have seen like other like books like these, but this is the only one that I really have. Like see the front right here, of course, like SpongeBob throwing like all like the dishes, ketchup, Krabby Patties, Squidward and Patrick, like looking. Squidward looks exhausted while Patrick seems interested. On the back we have like more stuff. We got SpongeBob with his logo from No One Kids Show on Nickelodeon. Deep down in the Pacific Ocean, the city of Bikini Bottom is a lovable, optimistic, and well-meaning sea sponge named SpongeBob SquarePants. He lives in a pineapple with his pet snail Gary and works as a fry cook at the Krusty Krab, making everyone's favorite Krabby Patty burgers. His #1 goal in life is to make the perfect Krabby Patty and be named Employee of the Month every month. No matter what silly mess SpongeBob gets into, his buddies at the Krusty Krab are never far behind. Watch SpongeBob SquarePants on Nickelodeon. Check out Tokyo Pop signed manga for more of his adventures. Now I know the word manga, obviously pertain from like Japanese, like their version of like comics, which I think that's what they are. I mean, mangas are like Japanese versions of like comics, maybe? I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments below, but if I'm right or wrong, but like that's what I just assume. But, like, in this book, it actually pertains, like, episodes from, the actual show and not, custom stories like that I did with the SpongeBob comics video. I'll show that. I'll probably, show that at the end of the video so that we can check it out. So if you thought you were going to get, like, custom, like, stories from different writers, then, unfortunately, you are wrong. But, like, let's just keep going here. And this was released back in 2003. So we got SpongeBob again, Krusty Krab Adventures, SpongeBob cleaning up a mess while Squidward looks, very exhausted. More stuff right here. We got some pretty artwork right here with, the characters. Like SpongeBob, some information right here about, we already kind of like know SpongeBob, Squidward tentacles, a squid who works at the cashier at the Krusty Krab. Unlike SpongeBob, Squidward tends to be negative about everything. Secretly, he craves the limelight. Zoom in right here. Mr. Krabs, a crab who owns and runs the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs loves money and will do anything to avoid losing it. Mr. Krabs also adores his daughter, Pearl. Gary, SpongeBob's pet snail, meows like a cat. Plankton, a plankton who consistently sneaks into the Krusty Krab, attempting to get his hands on a famous Krabby Patty. Despite his size, Plankton can be a big threat to Mr. Krabs. Patrick Star, a starfish who is SpongeBob's best friend and neighbor. So that's a little information about those two. Flip pages. So we got some, like ones from the episodes right here. 3 of them from season 1 and 1 from season 2. Which is, season 2, the algae is always greener. And we got some season 1 episodes, Culture Shock, Pizza Delivery, and Pickles. So what I'm going to do is basically just to save time and, effort for, and, like basically for me and you guys, that I'm not going to read, like all of the stories. Maybe just like go through and, like talk like what's going on. Because, obviously you can watch the episodes for yourselves on like YouTube, Paramount, or basically wherever. Don't know why they made the actual like episodes on here as like comics. I really wish they did like custom like stories like they did with the actual official SpongeBob comics, but This is what we get. And plus, this was back in like 2003. So we got The Allergy's Always Greener by Aaron Springer, C.H. Greenblatt, and Meriwether Williams. If I said the names wrong, then I do apologize. So we can see right here, we just like zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Actually, let's kind of like adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. So we can see the Krusty Krab right here. We got Old Man Jenkins looking like he's about to ready to eat. He grabs a ketchup bottle. We see Plankton sees the patty. He's getting ready to, watch out. He's preparing himself. But Old Man Jenkins, like with his bad eyesight, missed the Krabby Patty completely, sending Plankton right into Mr. Krab's office. Krab sees Plankton. He's like, oh, trying to get the Krabby Patty again, I see. And flings them off, yelling, so long, shrimp. Really wish they had the actual shrimp character in there. That would be funny. Plankton sends off back to the chum bucket while he eats, holographic meat loaf. See right here, it looks pretty good. Wish it was real though. But then, Plankton, is thinking if he could live the life just like Mr. Krabs, just to see how it would be, which gives him the perfect idea. And then, he presses button, he sees the picture of Krabs, he zaps, teleportation. He's confused on what is going on here. Why is he called Mr. Plankton? Till he realized that he himself is the owner of the Krusty Krab. Turn the brightness up a little bit. There we go, perfect. Plankton finally sees the Krabby Patties themselves. Talks to SpongeBob about, wanting to inspect the patties. But SpongeBob insists that the patties are for the customer. Plankton, of course, saying that, every customer deserves loving food. But Plankton is so into it that he finally got the formula himself. But SpongeBob comes in wondering if he could do more. He insists on some improvement and whatnot, while Plankton is just more like, I don't know, maybe review something. SpongeBob goes, and Plankton is confused and kind of annoyed from SpongeBob's expression. He sees if he wants a promotion, and Plankton decides to give him a promotion as a co-cashier. But Squidward does not approve of this and wants to be, somewhere where he doesn't want to be annoyed by the little yellow sponge himself. So Plankton decided to give him the job as behind the grill. Pearl comes in wanting to, ask Plankton for some months for an allowance, and Plankton just gives her $1. I would have given, at least 50 or something. A customer comes back about a complaint about how Squidward makes a poor Krabby Patty. You think Squidward would know how to make good food, at least. SpongeBob comes to Plankton saying that he soiled the Krusty Krab, and Pearl comes over, decides to run away and find herself a new father. But something terrible happens. Sirens going on, and SpongeBob is saying to take cover from the most meanest person in Bikini Bottom and wants nothing but the Krabby Patty formula himself. It's Eugene Krabs, but he's naked. Yeah, good grief, he is naked. I'm gonna make you eat those words, Krabs. But Krabs tries to, run off and, avoid put on some clothes. But he had got on a bra, a very pointy one, which, is hilarious. At last, Plankton got the Krabby Patty formula, and they all do their victory screech. And then here, Mr. Krabs will not give up until he gets the Krabby formula, and he will come back the next day, the next day, and the next day, and, SpongeBob gives him the phone and whatnot. But Plankton has had enough and just wants to go back to his normal life. So he will see everything and everyone in therapy. And he's like, holographic meatloaf? My favorite. And that is the end. So you can see I'm just kind of going over what's going on, ring a little bit. Just to, make it easier for, me and for you guys at home. Again, like I said, you can watch the episodes, like on like, Paramount TV, YouTube and whatnot, or just, like look at, like fan art or something. But next is Culture Shock by Paul Tibbitt, Mark O'Hare, and Mr. Lawrence. So we got right here, the Krusty Krab seems to be empty. Squidward is reading, like some, let's see, like dance magazines. Mr. Krabs is, like putting up a salad bar, and, a customer comes in. And, Mr. Krabs, puts the customer in a seat, tells SpongeBob to, take care of the customer. But the customer only wants change for a payphone. And then the customer comes back. Mr. Krabs hears a tip and takes it away from SpongeBob. But Mr. Krabs insists that there won't be some changes to earn more money. SpongeBob had, some ideas, but, fortunately they aren't, like tasting Mr. Krabs' interest. But Squidward had the perfect idea to put up a talent show. So that way people at the Krusty Krab can actually see something amazing, like some talent from, from very great people. Mr. Krabs agrees and decides to make it work. While Squidward is setting up, SpongeBob insists that he wants to be part of talent show of his. But Squidward thinks that all of it is silly ruckus. But SpongeBob is wanting to be part of an act. But Squidward can hardly wait. Later tonight, the crowd is set. SpongeBob's parents comes over for a visit to see some talent. But SpongeBob insists that he still wants to be part of the talent show. He turns himself as Mr. Absorbency, but Squidward insists that it's just not good enough. SpongeBob pleads for Squidward to do something, so Squidward decides to make him the cleanup boy. Afterwards, Squidward gets on stage all nervous, like talking about the talent show, and Patrick gives out a good laugh. Meanwhile, Pearl comes out to do some chanting, which caused a lot of ruckus to everyone in the room. As you can see, SpongeBob is still cleaning up, doing his normal stuff, and Squidward, like flings them up. Gary comes out, meowing away, but Sandy thinks he has such ways of words. Now SpongeBob comes back to Squidward, saying if he should use Mr. Cleanser or Dr. Clean, but Squidward just says yes. Blanket comes over here to take his chance to take the Krabby Patty formula, but Mr. Krabs doesn't think so. Blanket tries to do some funny move to get a hands on it, but just ends up blowing himself up. But finally, Squidward insists that there is more, and he is going to be part of the talent show. He decides to dance off and do some funny dance moves, but the crowd insists that he is a horrible dancer with unoriginality. They are throwing tomatoes, but Mr. Krabs insists that he is losing money and decides to put them up for just $1, hoping no one will make a big fuss about it. But everyone seems to be on board with it. Squidward insists that he doesn't think they don't even know what talent is, but everyone's just saying that Squidward has no talent at all. SpongeBob says if the show's over, but Squidward is mad and tells it is over. SpongeBob comes out to clean up, and the crowd thinks that it's amazing. For a little yellow sponge, he thinks that he's doing a wonderful job. Squidward tries to go back out and see if the crowd will adore him again, but at last, silence. Everyone loves SpongeBob more than Squidward because SpongeBob is the #1 spotlight. Even Squidward tries clean up again, but just gets tomato thrown at him. His parents can't believe that he has such talent. And Mr. Krabs says that this was the best show that they did. And is in for another wheelbarrow for next week's show. And that is the end. So ultimately, SpongeBob is just way more talent and way more absorbent than Squidward. Because Squidward can only draw self-portraits of himself and no one seems to care because they are just awful. Squidward's got to be a bit more original, if I say. And next up is Pizza Delivery by Sherm Cohen, Aaron Springer, and Peter Burns. Just a normal evening night at the Krusty Krab. While SpongeBob's cleaning up, they hear a phone call ringing about if the Krusty Krab sells pizza. Mr. Krabs was just like, pizza? Why, sure. But Squidward says we don't even sell pizza. So Mr. Krabs just takes some crab patties, mash them all together, and voila, with magic, our pizza is done. Mr. Krabs tells, you know, look at this frame right here. Look at that. Sorry. They could have taken any other frame and they chose that one. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny if you ask me. So, anyways, Squidward was just like, well, can't you just take SpongeBob? And Mr. Krabs was like, good idea. You both will go together. So they both try to go on to get the pizza, and Squidward tells SpongeBob if he can drive, but at last, SpongeBob doesn't even have a real license. I don't even think he even has a permit. SpongeBob tries to back up all the way and says that he did back up. And last Squidward tried to, you know, kick the boat, and it just goes off and off. So they are gonna just walk. So you can see right here, they are walking. They try to, you know, like get attention from, you know, like truck right here. You know, SpongeBob doing like a little goof dance with a big hat. And both Squid and Sponge get covered in sand. But both of them are off, once again on foot, trying to, you know, go deliver the pizza in a very windy area. But Squidward insists to why even hold on to the stupid pizza. SpongeBob saying it's for the customer. And you know, SpongeBob cares, but Squidward doesn't. Why would Squidward not care? It's food. SpongeBob insists of letting go and rejects. And they, you know, eventually the pizza turns into a parachute. And Squidward's saying that they are lost and don't think they can go back. So they decide to tread off more and see if they can still go get the pizza. At last, you know, like more walking, more singing, more whatnot. They believe they are lost. And they are hungry. And the only food source that they have is just the pizza. I don't know why they have lashes right here. I think my sister decided to do this, or it was me, but whatever. Alas, the only food they have was pizza. Squidward's insisting that it looks tasty. But SpongeBob remembers it's for the customer. So SpongeBob insists of not giving it away to Squidward for food. But SpongeBob sees a rock. No, not just a rock. This rock was used for the pioneers for traveling. Squidward was just like, they can't drive rocks. But you can see, they absolutely can. Alas, they finally managed to arrive to the person who ordered the pizza, but they wanted a drink. But SpongeBob doesn't even remember ordering a drink, and the man and the customer denies taking the pizza. But Squidward has had enough. Bangs on the door. The customer's like, another one? Look, I told your little friend I ain't paying for it. And Squidward is so mad that he decided to take the pizza and smash it to the customer's face. He deserved it anyway. Now back along, they decide to go back to do more work at the Krusty Krab that was just right next to him. And Squidward's final words was, oh, my aching tentacles. And that is it. A very good episode, I could say. Especially when Squidward retaliates and he's just like, you know what? I've had it. I'm gonna teach him a little lesson and just boosh, pizza right in the face. If someone, you know, like was being rude and I was delivering pizza, I would do that. I don't care if it's illegal or something. They deserved it. Don't be mean, everyone. Don't be mean to delivery people because they be doing a lot of work. Anyways, the last one is Pickles, a classic, by Steve Fonte, Chris Mitchell, and Peter Burns. So it's another normal day at the Krusty Krab. A person is ordering a Krabby Patty, and SpongeBob is gonna make up a crying Johnny. First bun, then patty, followed by ketchup, mustard, pickles, extra onions, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, and bun. One crying Johnny coming up. And SpongeBob orders up, but Square insists that we need more for a customer. And then, lo and behold, this man arrives. Bubble Bass, the one and only, and he's wanting a Krabby Patty. But of course, when he takes a bite, there is no pickles for whatever reason. Don't know why, but SpongeBob insists that he did. So, yeah. He insists that he did put on pickles, and Mr. Krabs is one, and you know, Bubble Bass is one for a refund. But Mr. Krabs was just like, one, you know, like, try to, you know, get out of it. But Mr. Krabs insists that he must try again. After even, you know, giving the order to Bubble Bass, SpongeBob loses it. He can't even remember how to even make a Krabby Patty. So Mr. Krabs insists him to go home and try to figure it out himself, while he puts Squidward on the job. After time at the pineapple, SpongeBob can't even remember how it goes, even trying to lay down in his own bed and trying to stop the alarm clock. The solution is using Gary. And as we can see, Squidward once again fails to even make one good Krabby Patty, and everyone is hating the burnt patties. And Mr. Krabs needs to get SpongeBob back as soon as possible. His house is a mess when Mr. Krabs enters, and you know, Krabs sees that SpongeBob is struggling, so he makes a placemat up to try to, you know, like, tell SpongeBob to remember the order of a Krabby Patty. But it even took like all night. SpongeBob insists that he can't even make it do it again. I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and bun on top together in that order. And with that said, he did it exactly. And it's about time for the sponge to return. As it returns, Bubble Bass returns, and SpongeBob insists to make the patty once more. While giving the order, Bubble Bass, you know, munches and munches, telling SpongeBob that he forgot the pickles again. But he's like, wait a minute. He lifts his tongue out and realizes that Bubble Bass has been hiding the pickles the whole time. The crowd is furious, and Bubble Bass runs off once again. The crowd cheers for SpongeBob, but SpongeBob insists to cheer for Squidward, but they end up booing him at the end. And then there was going to be another book right here, SpongeBob SquarePants, Friends Forever. So I'm going to try to get this book in the future, and you can see a whole bunch of like other mangas from, you know, like from the series. One of them being Sailor Moon right here, which I've seen, you know, the Sailor Moon anime, but I really want to like watch it, but I just don't have the time for it. Maybe some other time I'll actually watch it. So yeah, that is Krusty Krab Adventures. I decided to, you know, like make it easier and just kind of like go through and like tell like what's going on rather than, you know, reading everything, because we've all seen the episodes, we've all watched them a bunch, we know what happens, we've seen the memes and all of that. You know, good episodes, classic ones, season 1 through 3 and 4, I'm gonna count season 4, are all classic episodes. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you like what you see here and you want to see more videos where I, read books in the future, then be sure to subscribe to my channel today. Click that bell notification so you'll stay notified when I make new videos. Like the video, comment what you think of it. What's your favorite, like episode in this book? Do you have this book or not? Share with your friends, family, and other people who love SpongeBob and love mangas, comics, and reading in general. And with that being said, I will see all of you in my next video. Bye bye.